Kenny Ken, we just having a little debate here, even just before we came.
I could hear.
Yeah, about Kolasinac. And I'm saying that I can't remember the last time I see that guy defensively have a good performance for Arsenal.
Well, first and foremost, he's playing where Kolasinac was doing his good work in Germany. He's a left wing back, but we're playing him in the free because Mari is left footed, who's injured. So, you know, a la Pep Guardiola, Arteta wants to play a left footer in the left hand side of the defence in order to create the sort of passing angles that for the left back.
He plays a left wing back, still be able to pass.
Yeah, maybe so, but I think I think Arteta's got a bit of the Chris Wilder in him because you look at Sheffield United, they play the overlapping centre halves where the left footer of the centre half is O'Connell, and then on the left hand side you've got Ender Stevens, so they kind of interchange, and I think that's why he's playing like that. But I think what's happened is that at the moment I understand the frustration. There's a blame game. But what's happened is that a football match happened, and we have to look at it collectively. Yes, by all means, have a go at Mustafi if you want. Have a go at Kolasinac. But let's just tell you one thing. Possession doesn't win you football matches. It only gives you the impetus. It gives you an into the game. You can't have all... At the end of the day, as long as it's 1-1 and Spurs stay in the game, their experience is going to count for a lot of things. Spurs have had experience of playing big games or... as your mate Clive Palmer says, your Luton mate says, big boy football. It's no accident in the last 3 years they played massive games. And in games like in the Champions League last season when they had loads of possession stats against them, they still found a way to win. Man City this season, they still found a way to win. Let's look at the situation. Why don't we look at what was Aubameyang thinking about when that cross went in, where he could have made it 1-0? What was he doing there? What about Pepe, who was continuously doing good work, but continuously playing it in the Spurs' hands, getting caught in possession, and when the ball gets won by Lucas Moura or Harry Winks, that creates chances for them to hit us on the counter-attack. That was their game plan. Their game plan was to sit and then anytime there's a second ball, create the chances. Second half, that's what they did. Yes, we had all that possession, but the fact of the matter is that our lack of experience, poor substitutions at the wrong time, cost us big in these sort of games. And that's the thing. And that is what really, really happened today. That's why we lost the game, is because we lack experience when it matters. And what happens is that when you have all that possession and don't take your chances, you bring Spurs back in the game and you put your defence under pressure. I don't care what anyone says. Before Mustafi made those mistakes, he was having a good game. People were praising him and bigging him up when he made those tackles. Then all of a sudden, a little mistake in the middle where someone gives the ball away.
I think the more annoying thing was the fact that Arsenal, they got the lead. You won it up. Now, you 1-0 up in the North London derby. Now, we should be the guys that are saying, right, organise, hold it. It's a bit like what we've done at Wolves last week. However, when it must be so frustrating as a manager when one of your players, under absolutely no pressure whatsoever, makes a mistake like what Kolasinac does and lets Tottenham back into the game.
100% agree with you, but even before we got the goal and that excellent goal by Aubameyang, we were doing the same sort of things. Spurs, from the kick-off, were pressing us, getting in our faces, trying to create those situations where they created, where we had no angles to pass the ball back to our players. It was there for us all to see. That was how Spurs were going to win the game and get back in the game. It was only like a continuation of what we were doing before we got the goal. And that is the situation with Arsenal Football Club as well. Until we have players who, like I said, learn game management, learn about big games, we're always going to have that sort of situation. You could spend millions and millions of pounds on getting the right personnel, but it all comes within. You should be able to have a situation where you've just scored a goal, where you just keep it simple. You don't need to pass it back to Luiz, especially when the guy's not expecting the ball. The guy's passed it to you, and what he wants you to do, Kolasinac, is pass it forward. But let's not blame Kolasinac as well. What about Aubameyang? Now, he had a sinker today. Yes, he hit the bar. And yes, he
Sorry,
feels that same.
hold on.
Yeah, no, Robbie, let's be honest here, because let me tell you something now. No, can I just say, a lot of your titles, but a lot of your titles are going to criticise the same old people. Louise, Mustafi's getting criticised, and so's Kolasinac. But the facts of the matter is, we lost the game because possession doesn't win you football matches by not taking your chances. And Aubameyang was part of that situation.
Of course, the whole team's part of it, right? But
your titles are going to be blaming the wrong players.
What I'd say, so who do we blame Aubameyang for today?
I'm not saying we blame Aubameyang. I'm just saying share the blame. Don't just always commit.
No,
the fact of the matter is, at one or
I'm a person. I like to share the blame, right? I like to look on it collectively as a team. But I have to say, if I was a striker in Arsenal's team today, and I'm coming off at half time after what Kolasinac did, I'd be looking at it, I'd be thinking to myself, if this guy wasn't such a big dude, right, and a rough dude, I'd be looking to put one on him.
No, Robbie, no, you won't.
What are you doing?
No, you won't, Robbie. What you'll do, Robbie, you're wrong. Robbie, you're wrong. No, what you'll do, Robbie, is that you'll say this 35 minutes ago, you go up to Kolasinac to say, look, wipe your mouth, we can still win this, because that's what proper teammates do.
True.
And then what you do is that you try and get back in the game. And then what you do is that when you have all that possession and you're on the attack, you put teams on the swords. Any sport, if you have a team by the throat, you kick your foot on there. You squeeze the life out of them so they tap out MMA style. We didn't do that against Tottenham. We gave them the impetus to get back in the game. When we ran out of ideas, they took control of the game. Why did they take control of the game? Because we didn't do the basics in front. And what about Tierney for the goal? He's been great for us, but he was at fault for the goal. He lost Tobias Alderweireld, but he won't get criticised. But if Mustafi and Luiz did that, that's what happened. And all I'm trying to say right now is we march on, Robbie. Yes, let's kill the cat. You go and smash your car window. Troops, kill someone back in Cricklewood. Do what you have to do. But we've got 2 more big games now. Wipe your mouths. We've got Man City next week, the semi-final, and Liverpool. I don't want to hear any recriminations now, because guess what? It is what it is. Mustafi is here at the end of the season. So is Louise, and so is Kolasinac. Players that we're going to need in the next 2 games. So get out your system. We march on for Liverpool, and we've got a match against Man City, who we owe one. They're giving us a couple of thrashings now. We've seen what we did well. Ceballos was fantastic in an offensive matter. No more talk about Mesut Ozil anymore, because Ceballos is finding the player we need. That's the positives. The other positive as well, Lacazette's fantastic goal, his great performance. The other positives as well is that in a big game, we can control things offensively. All we need to do is put our chances away. That's what we do afterwards. Yes, Spurs hurts. And I'm going to kill some right now after this interview. But trust me, tomorrow we march on, Robbie. And I expect all you guys in the field to march on. We march on.
I love that. Let's get Kenny Kent in the Arsenal dressing room or the Arsenal training ground tomorrow.
Exactly. Robbie, the season is not over, okay? We still got an FA Cup semi-final and a big game against Liverpool. We think about Tottenham, we'll get murdered on Wednesday, we'll get murdered next week. Come on, let's march on.
Nice one, mate.
Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.